Okay, so some of you may be wondering, of all the cubes I have said had potential to become my main, what actually is my main? So today is the day I finally tell you. In this video I'll be going over the events that I practice, some that I don't practice, and if I main a trash cube for a certain event, I might not mention that in this video. Starting with the main event, 3x3. And my main 3x3 is the Angstrom RS3M 2020 Plus. Yup, this cube is amazing. It has both a papery and silky smooth feel, has decently effortless corner cutting, and its stability suits my turning style very well. This cube also has Milew's dual adjustment system, which I left in the 4th setting. Now my favorite thing about this cube is that it has an extra set of magnets that are placed inside the cube, which makes the cube feel a lot more controllable and less locky. I do have to give an honorable mention to the Weilong WRM, because it was barely beaten by the RS3M, and really was also an amazing cube. But I am happy that I finally found a cube to beat out the WRM. Now let's get into 4x4. Now I have both the Alsu WRM and the MGC 4x4, so I've concluded that the Alsu WRM is my 4x4 main. The turning on the cube is so satisfying. The outer layers turn almost like a 3x3, the stability is amazing, and the corner cutting is definitely above average. But make sure you loosen the cube and lube it, because out of the box I definitely didn't like the cube as much as I do now. The MGC is a great cube, but 1, the Alsu WRM is a more suitable size, and 2, the MGC definitely doesn't feel as satisfying as the Alsu WRM. But if I were to recommend either of these cubes, I would definitely recommend the MGC 4x4 because it's less than half the price of the Alsu WRM, and it's being used by top level speedcubers, so there you go. Okay, so for 5x5, I really only have one good 5x5, and that's the MGC. Now, the main characteristic about this cube is that it's very bubbly, and it definitely resembles Milew's current and past 5x5s. In my opinion, I think it's a pretty satisfying feeling. Along with its bubbly feel, it also feels very fast. Out of the box, I found it to be a little too fast, so I disassembled the cube, lubed the core and the pieces, and assembled it back together, which took ages. To describe the way it turns, there are some bumps as you turn the cube. The cube kind of feels like the Weilong WRM if it were a 5x5, of course with a couple differences too. So all the events that I have mentioned so far are all the N/N events that I somewhat practice. I think non-N/N puzzles are the events that I practice much less. So to be more efficient, I'll talk about all my mains for those events in this segment. Starting with Megaminx, which is the non-N/N event that I practice the most. I currently use the X-Man Galaxy V2. Bet you haven't heard that name in a while. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The turning is pretty smooth and the magnets are actually pretty strong. I think the reason why this might be the best Megaminx in the market is because the cube barely locks up. And I think it's pretty fluid, and my solving in this cube is very fluid. For Pyraminx, which I don't practice at all, I main the Milew Magnetic Pyraminx. Yep, probably the oldest cube of all my mains, but yeah. There have been a couple new Megaminxes lately, like the Bell V2 and the Gan Pyraminx, and I might think about buying them. Now let's get into the last event I'll be going over, Square 1. And honestly, I really don't want to talk about this one, but I main the X-Man Vault V1. Not V2, V1, yeah. Yeah, I really don't care a lot about Square 1, so... Now, I don't do 2x2, but I main the Yushin White. I don't have a clock, and I also don't have a 6x6 or 7x7. I really want to get good at 4x4 and 5x5 before I get into the big cubes, so yeah. Okay, that's it for this video. This definitely took some time to make. Tell me in the comments what your main 3x3 is, I'm curious. Anyways, if you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at @CatTheKeeper. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.